The stupidity of modern financial planning. Everybody listen up, listen up. We got the clarion call of the PVC trumpet. All right, so I was just sitting there minding my business this morning, and I was looking at Kevin. Kevin's my third child. He's 16, 6 foot, eats like a freaking horse. And I made him 2 sausages. Sausages, remember the old sausages cartoons? The advertisement? Sausages, put a thumbs up if you remember that. Made him 2 fried eggs, and he had a bowl of cereal too. And then I got some donuts, because I like Publix donuts. Sue me. I said, damn, that guy eats a lot, you know what I'm saying? And then Liam's coming down behind him. Liam's 15, and he's about 6 feet. And the same thing, like, anyway, so it occurred to me, I said, man, I spend a lot of money on food. Because I was thinking about, for me, I've gone on, again, a pretty heavily carnivore diet. I eat a big steak during about noon. After this, I'm going to eat a big steak. And I don't really eat that much after that. It usually fills me out. It was a big steak, you know what I'm saying? It's a inch and a half New York strip. I got some bone-in ribeye for $10.99 a pound up at Publix today. It's on sale. I can eat one of those tomorrow. So that's usually ties me over for the rest of the day. I don't eat any breakfast. I did have a donut this morning, but I don't eat breakfast. I eat a big steak at lunch, and I'm usually pretty good. I eat some almonds throughout the day, and that's it, man. It's crazy. So I'm down to 178. Can you even see me anymore? I'm so skinny. Skinny. Anyway, so it's like, it just occurred to me. I said, when the kids are out of the house, this can be cheap. You know what I'm saying? Because we got kids to pay for. We just had to get new tennis shoes for the kids, the boys, and those aren't cheap. We have to get new glasses. They have to get, their EpiPens. And then I got my 2 daughters. They're both in college. Maddie's going to graduate with her master's degree from Georgia Tech here this December, and we've been helping her out. Chloe's at UGA, University of Georgia, second year there. We help her out too. But I said, man, when the kids are gone, expenses are going to drop way down. You see what I'm saying? So I got about another 5 years or so. Liam is a sophomore in high school, so basically probably 7 years or so, and I'll be 60 by that point. When I'm 60, my expenses are going to drop, and I'll have my mortgage will be paid off. The kids won't be around. It's going to be pretty doggone cheap at that point. But modern financial planning won't have you believe that. So modern financial planning, they look at this life cycle model, and it's just so wrong. It's so wrong. They got your income. So when I was, 18 years old in the Army, I wasn't making any money. I wasn't making any money. Then right about here, I'm making the most. I'm 53 now. I'm making the most I've ever made right now. It's crazy. And most of you guys too. You're basically 55 to 60. That's your peak earnings, essentially. Now, you still get a little bit of cost of living adjustment for inflation and whatnot, but basically that's going to be your peak earnings, 55 to 60. And then it drops. Your income drops. Why? Well, because you retire. You're not working anymore. You're just living on Social Security and if you have a pension. Now, what modern financial planning would say is here's your spending. And notice the difference in the spending and income model. Your income model is like a rainbow. Your spending model is just this laser. It's what they call a vertex. Vortex, a vortex. It just goes straight like that. And so what they'd have you believe that you need to do is your spending right here. Your spending is rising each and every year with inflation. But you still should have some surplus savings from your income. Your income should be rising faster than your spending right here. And the surplus savings should be used to fund your deficit spending later on, because at this stage, your spending is higher than your income because your income drops, but your spending still goes the same. And as such, the surplus savings should be used to invest in a 401k, IRA, whatnot, and then you have some deficit spending that comes from that surplus savings. And that's where the whole basics of the 4% rule and all that comes to mind. And it just is like the 4% rule in of itself was revolutionary in that it said, hey, you can't look at markets as an average 10% a year rate of return and assume if you only spend 8%, you're still adding 2% to your capital. You can't do that. It's silly. That's what the 4% rule showed us. Now, the problem with the 4% rule, though, is that is basic. Your spending is like this. Now, for me, and this is so stupid that it's not going to be like that. For me, basically, we'll say 55 to 60, my spending is going to go like this. Whew. You see what I'm saying? Now, my income will go off will go down a little bit for sure. Because at that stage I won't be working very much and whatnot, so my income will drop like this. So I'm still going to have some deficits here. I'm not saying there's no deficit. I'm not saying there's no deficit, but my income is going to drop like a freaking brick in water. Probably even more so than that. My spending, I mean, just because once the kids are all out of the house, the mortgage is paid off, the cars are paid off, no more student loan debts, no more. What's up, girl? Doing a vid. You want
coffee?
Okay. Wow. Just talk about you. As a matter of fact, Maddie went to the Georgia Tech game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium last night with her boyfriend, and she left early. What, the fourth quarter?
I think we did see the touchdown, actually, and it was pretty bad. They decided to leave, so.
Yeah, I don't know why they played at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They should have played it.
Fun.
It wasn't.
The hot dogs there are $2 for one hot dog.
Well, that's pretty good.
$5 for a cheeseburger.
How much for beers?
8.5.
They didn't have any beers?
No, 8.5.
Oh, 8.5. Why were you drinking beers? You're only 19 years old.
Don't say that. That's misinformation.
I'm practicing misinformation. The DEA, not DEA, the NSA is going to come out for me. Misinformation. Anyway, so right here our spending is going to drop. Our income is going to drop too, but our deficit spending is going to be much, much less than what the modern financial planning would have you believe, because it's all based on this right here. It's just so stupid. By the way, if I can make another point too, for most of us who have families, is our spending, there is not a huge, our spending doesn't give us this big gap here where we can save. Our spending actually goes like this. You see what I'm saying? It tracks, if not even above that, our income. That's why we have mortgages. That's why we have debt, because our spending, when we're building a family, grows so high relative to our income, we take on debt. And then what happens, our family gets older and our spending goes down. So now we're using some of our surplus income to pay off the debt, which makes sense. That's literally what happened to me. I mean, I was carrying debt, I was adding to my debt, and now I have more money. So I'm using my surplus income to save, not nearly what I wish, but still, I mean, I'm paying off my debts, man. And so this is the issue that a lot of financial planners, they miss. They want to use simple rules because simple rules make it easy to project to clients that, look, 4% rule makes sense. You know, you need $40,000 a year, you got $1 million bucks. At a 60-40 portfolio, you're gonna be good to go. It's so, look, simplicity is divine, but don't use simplicity when it is not warranted. And here it's just not warranted because your spending doesn't track this right here. Your spending goes actually like this, and then it goes way down. I'm not saying you're not gonna spend any money here, but it does drop like a brick in water as you age. The evidence is so overwhelming. The evidence is just, it's not even debatable at this stage. But the financial planning, retirement planning era of it's still loud about no one has enough money to retire. It's stupid. It's stupid. As you age, not only do your kids get out of the house, not only do you not have to pay for diapers, pay for food, pay for college, pay for car loans, pay for auto insurance for your kids, all that. You know, you just use the same underwear. You know what I'm saying? You use the same t-shirts. You ever seen older people out there? You know, they don't change their clothes, dude. They're wearing the same old clothes they wore 20 years ago. You know why? Because they don't care. They have a late in life say, I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. I don't care what anybody says. A, is liberating because you don't care. So that's why these people are content. I just don't care what Mrs. Jones down the street says. I could care less. B, they also don't spend. So they're liberated because they don't have to keep up with the Joneses, and they don't spend as much because they're like, I'm content. And C, contentment equals happiness, and it makes you be more appreciative of what you have. The things that smell the flowers, to have a nice cut of beef, you know what I'm saying? You're just like, that's good. You don't need to worry so much about it. But the financial planning realm, the industry won't have you believe that because they think, oh my goodness, if you don't have $1 million, you're gonna run out of money. It's so stupid, especially if you're in your 50s, man. If you're in your 50s, it's okay. It's okay. Your family size will drop. Your income will continue to go up until you quit. And then when you retire, your needs are going to drop too because your kids are out of the house. You just get older. It's just, the evidence is overwhelming. All right. Love your thoughts. Again, if you like these videos, we're going live tonight, 8 p.m. Saturday on Locals. So sign up for my Locals channel, $5 a month, man. You can join. I got 1,000 people, not paying all $5 a month, trust me. But I got 1,000 people who are following me, and I think they all can go live and watch the live stream. They just can't comment, I think. But I got 1,000 people sign up for Locals. The vast majority are not $5 a month customers. I'll tell you that right now. But anyway, going live tonight, 8 p.m. and every Wednesday, 8 p.m. too. So I'll put a link to the Doobie-Doo. Love to see you there. Thanks now.